Ladies and gentlemen, the duo is back. It's been a while. Welcome. This is Nothing But Miss. I'm Ba. That's Melky with Knicks gear. I don't get it, but this is episode 3. Let's go. Melky, how are you, buddy?
Well, first of all, New York stand up, all right, man. Don't be hating on the Knicks. Knicks haven't done anything in a very long time. So you know what? The fact that they're winning right now, and ahead of the Raptors, might I add, is a joyous occasion.
That's a big feat.
That's huge. But another thing, like you mentioned, reunited and it feels so good. Yeah, it's been a hot minute since you and I have done this, and that's mainly my fault. My laptop went down. Plus COVID, being tired, lazy. I think I pulled like a Dave Chappelle where he ran away to Africa, and because apparently NA30 was trying to take our creative away, so I had to escape. And no, I'm just kidding. Bill Gates fucking me over with Windows.
Well, I'm glad you took the blame. I was gonna take partial blame, or we were just gonna move past it. So I'm glad you just took full responsibility. So that's great. And by the way, speaking of Not After 30, did you see their little ketchup reference to the mustard? Those guys, they're so funny.
Yeah, they're hilarious, but mustard's better than ketchup.
There we go. Video flashed out on my end, but we're back. Okay, so this episode, we're speaking about the Toronto Raptors. And it's almost good we haven't been recording for a while, Melky, because it has not been great. No. Currently, your Toronto Raptors are 17-25 for 11th in the East. And they're playing Houston tonight, mind you, who's lost 20 in a row.
Imagine losing 20 games in a row. Yeah. I mean, the Raptors have lost 8 in a row, but imagine losing 20. Ugh.
You know what the sad part is? They probably think the Raptors are a must-win game for them. That's how bad we've been.
Loser gets kicked out of the league. No.
Okay, so tonight's game, I just put a couple of notes. So Anunoby, he's out, rest. Stanley Johnson starting. Oladipo's out for Houston, which is a bonus for the Raps. I'm really hoping the Raps win. It was brutal, last night's loss.
Oh, it's Cleveland? Yeah, I think I watched maybe the first half, and I couldn't take it anymore. They just look discombobulated. There's no heart. Like the last few years, the Raptors teams have had heart.
Yeah.
There's no heart on this team, and not sure if it's it's a mix of the pandemic breakout, which they had, injuries, just the season being weird. It's a shame because I always love watching the Raptors, and this year I must say have not been as entertained as prior years.
No, it's been an 8-game loss streak right now. They're 1-9 in their last 10 games. It's been brutal. Besides the defense being completely gone, no rim perimeter protection, nothing.
It's hot garbage.
There seems to be a real lack of that chemistry we've had the last few years. Like that ball movement, the body language, the way they found each other on the floor, they'd get back and help each other. I don't know if this massive COVID strike we just took as a hit as a team affected us, but everyone is off, it seems. There's a couple of, Fred's playing great, but I don't know, man. Brutal.
I think the team is missing an identity. The last few years, there's always been an identity with the Raptors. And this year they don't have an identity. Like we keep alluding to it, but losing Serge, losing Mark, the veteran presence is definitely taking a toll on this team because I'm watching the Raptors and it just seems like everyone's out for themselves.
Yeah, that's the thing I circled. The loss of the big man hurt us so much. And then watching Jared Allen last night too for the Cavs just going off, I'm like, I'll take you on the team. Let's go, which I hope potentially could happen. We might talk about it later in the episode, but yeah, the COVID hit, man, I think playing in Tampa is such a detriment to this team. They're not real home fans. It's 100% away games. I mean, the fans booed the team. It's like, I mean, there's just no rhythm. Like you said, there's just nothing there for the team to build off of.
Yeah. And, home court does a lot. I know not everyone has fans, but knowing that you're in your own building does a lot. It's always overrated, but it does so much for you. You're comfortable. It's like being at home, sitting on your couch isn't my couch. Instead of going to a friend's house and sitting on a friend's couch, you're not the same. You can't put your feet up as much as you could like at home. So they're missing home cooking, and you can tell. You can tell by the way they play. They look like shit.
Yeah, they do. I totally agree with you about the home sentiment too, because you can learn to play without the fans. That's not a problem. Like, it sucks and it's going to take time, but that's one thing. But you do need that home stadium, your own dressing room. You just know the layout. You don't have to worry about any changes, nothing. It's just, you know, your route, you know, your day plan from start to finish as a professional. And they're missing that. They're missing the identity. They're missing the defense.
Oh, God.
And also the way they're blowing games is not what we've seen from Raptors of years past. Like, that is old Bargnani Raptor.
Umaga?
Yeah. It's frustrating to watch sometimes.
It is. It makes me turn off games. Like I said, I couldn't finish last night's game. It was horrendous. I do have the other game on in the background right now. We shall see. Like, I'm hoping, someone's lit a fire under their ass. Maybe Nurse, getting fined, spark something, because this team, they just look lost out there, and it's a shame because they're better than their records, way better.
Yeah, I know everybody was writing them off with the 2-8 start, and it was hard not to. Like, you and I were pretty optimistic fans. I mean, we're Toronto fans, so they came back. They made it to 500. We went a game over 500. You could start to see the momentum there, and it's like, okay, they're not playing in Toronto, but you know what? Fuck it. This team's going. And then the injuries happened. COVID happened. Just everything fell apart. Trade rumors, what have you. It's been
Yeah, they were soaring high, and then they just dipped as fast as they were soaring. It's just been a really strange season. So hopefully they can just kick it into gear. Luckily, there's a play-in where, from 7 to 10, you duke it out to get the last 2 playoff spots. So they have that in their favor, because normally they'd pretty much be packing it in and selling at the trade deadline.
Yeah, and they're what, 2.5 games for 10th? I believe that's the difference.
Yeah, something like that.
Not great, yeah. We're going to talk about in a bit, but the possible trade rumors. Obviously not a fade for Cade, and I'm never that fan who wants, like, I want Lowry to stay. I know it doesn't make sense. Okay, having guys stay longer than when they should go has fucked me in the past. I get that. Still, my heart doesn't want Lowry to leave. But this might be the best time. Teams are salivating for him. With that being said, it's like, we're obviously not going to fade for Cade. We're not that bad. We're not Minnesota.
No one's Minnesota.
but do we try and, like you were just alluding to, we try to get this team chemistry going up, and we try to fight for this 7 to 10 bracket, or what looks like a pretty solid first round and a definite deep top 5 in the NBA draft? Do we go for that?
It's tough, man. I feel like you're caught in the middle, because on one hand, you want to prepare for the future, but on the other, you want to fight to, like, get in. Yeah. I think what I would do, Lowry has been a floor general. He's Toronto. I would ask him, if there's an offer, give me a list of teams, because there's some teams that are coveting point guards. He's not the only one that's been in trade talks, like Lonzo Ball and some of the other point guards in the league. Are like, teams need them, like teams like LA, Miami. I would ask him, if we had an offer on the table from Miami, LA, Philly, his hometown, would you be willing to waive your no trading go? If he says yes, pull the trigger. If he says no, I wouldn't do it.
I think he does say yes in that situation, though.
I think he would. He's a competitor. Wouldn't you want to have a chance to win another title? And then he even mentioned, whatever happens, I'd still sign that 1-day contract and retire as a Raptor.
Yeah, if Lowry goes, then that's just committing. This season's a wash. You have your next 3 that apparently you're building around: Pascal, OG, Fred. It's time to be on. I'm thinking Powell's probably gone too. We'll get to him in a second. I really don't want Lowry to go to fucking Philly, dude. I know I'm an Eagles fan, but I do not want that guy going home. I think probably the best package may be Miami, and I don't really want Lowry to stay in the East, but Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, I'm sorry. There's guys that we can actually get, young guys from Miami.
Even Kelly Olynyk, he's a big man. I know he's not.
I heard too.
Yeah, and he can shoot. And he's a Canadian, homegrown Canadian boy. So I would see what you can get. Like, don't be like the Toronto Maple Leafs with Matt Sundin and then get nothing. It just seems like at the end of the day, it's a business. If you can capitalize on Lowry, try to, with his blessing, of course, but try to. None is a baller. None is a baller. If you can get Tyler Hero, that's a shooter right there. I would capitalize.
Like I said, normally, man, I want them to stay, and that's usually my answer. But I almost feel 100% that he's leaving in the offseason if we don't trade him. Like you said, he's coming back, 1-day contract, the statue, what every media pundit in Toronto has been saying. And I've hated that they've all been calling for the trade, but it makes sense. Him and Norm, it's time to trade them, get the most. Norm's going to be asking and probably making what, $20 million after this summer?
Yeah, 18 to 20. He's averaging 19.6 points a game. It's a career year for him. He's not going to take a pay cut to stay in Toronto. I think, how old is he? 26, 27? Around that age?
Yeah, 27.
Yeah. Capitalize on it, man. You're balling out. This is his time to capitalize and cash in. So why not, if you can get something for him, why not make that move too? I love Norm. Like, Norm is a spark plug off the bench. Great defensive player. He does everything you need him to and then some, but it's a business. If you can get something from Norm, that's worth it. Don't just trade him for the sake of trading him.
Yeah.
If you can get something for him, why not?
Yeah, I don't see or really want the Raptors to pay him $20 million. I hope someone else, like you said, he definitely deserves it. He's been like he's sick. I love him too. He's been here for so long, but he's so hot and cold. And if we're moving on from Lowry, we already know that he's not the answer, and we're not going to build around him. So it's time to move on.
I agree. He's done a service. He helped us win a title. He was hot like last year in the playoffs. He almost took us to the Eastern Conference Finals, the way he played. But, it's a new day. You got to move on.
Well, the biggest thing here, why has Masai not signed? That it's really worrying me, and I feel like since he didn't land Giannis and this season's going down, man, I don't want to say it. I think Masai's leaving. Like, there's no reason for him not to have signed by now.
There's something that's happening behind closed doors. Unfortunately, we don't know. And You're right. Masai would have signed an extension already. Who's to say he might not? But I honestly think New York is calling for him, or some other team with a big market is calling for him. He's won us a title. What else can you ask Masai to do?
I really hope he doesn't go to the Knicks. Like, I want him, like I said in an earlier episode, to go something outside of basketball.
Yeah.
President of basketball ops or something like that. Just not the Knicks. Go somewhere, rebuild a dynasty, fine. Good luck. But obviously I don't want him to leave. It's heartbreaking that he hasn't signed by now. You see management in almost every other Toronto sport. They've already signed their contracts. And I feel like he's almost had a conversation with Lowry. And because the team and Tampa and not landing a star, it's like, okay, we're going to, they shook their hands, and I think they're both moving on.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've earned that respect too. They've done everything we've asked and then some. Like, did you ever expect when we had landed Lowry in a trade eons ago, Lowry would have led us to the promised land? Would you have thought getting Masai from Denver, would you think he would have changed the culture to where it is today, where we were able to win a championship, and him landing Kawhi Leonard and Danny Green and all these other Marc Gasol and all these other pieces, Serge Ibaka? I never thought in my wildest dreams that would happen, but they did it.
Yeah, we got a championship, a Toronto Raptors ring out of it.
Yeah, they put Toronto on the map.
Lowry was called, like, we're only a couple of years out from Trash Bros, LeBron James memes about this city. Like, we were just a joke how nobody cares about Toronto. And now we have a championship, and teams are salivating for Lowry. They want him. Miami wants him bad.
Oh, Miami needs him. Miami
Yeah.
is a team where, like, last year, I think they capitalized on being in the bubble. I never thought they were as good as I never thought they were as good as what they parlayed last year. And now you're seeing it in a full season where you're not in the bubble. You're seeing Miami in its true form, and they need a floor general. Like, Jimmy Buckets can't do it on his own. Tyler Hero isn't a floor general. Nunn is a very young player. What's the European's name? Dragic.
Yeah.
Dragic he's a good player, but he's past his prime. So a guy like Lowry, another pitbull to align with Jimmy Buckets, gives me goosebumps. That would be a team to be reckoned with.
It's so frustrating that you just see Lowry giving that passionate speech and it's wasted. And this team is just like, you're right, man. He is that leader. It doesn't even matter that he's in his mid-30s.
Mm-hmm.
Man is going to go. I hate guys leaving Toronto, but I want him to get a ring.
Yeah, like obviously you hate when the band breaks up, but we got what we needed from Lowry. Unfortunately, it's not going to work. I can't see us winning another title, so unfortunately, we gotta move on. Sadly.
Yeah, they, like I said, they have the 3 OG, Fred, Pascal. We definitely need a big man. I saw today that the Raps were one of the teams interested in Rashawn Holmes from Sacramento.
Yeah.
Jarrett Allen, possibly. Like, this team has the potential. And if we draft someone sick, Melk, like, this team could be in the playoffs a lot sooner rather than later. The way that there's parity in the NBA, the NHL, whatever, and how teams can rebuild so fast.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. You want to stock the cupboard for the future because it might not be promising today, but who knows what it's going to be like, 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the line. Like, if you can get, like, imagine we get a Jarrett Allen. How sick would that be? This guy does everything you ask for in the interior because you need an inside out. I always believe you play inside to out. That's where you get your shots, your open shots, your 3-point shots. Or, even Marvin Bagley. I think Sacramento's throwing the towel on Marvin Bagley.
Yeah.
The guy is still young. The man, he was a high recruit for a reason. So, hopefully we can just capitalize.
I honestly think we could be a late seed within 2-3 years if we do this properly. And I was going to say, too, a big problem with when COVID hit this team, it showed the amount of depth we lack on this team, which used to not be a problem. But yeah, we need to stock the cupboards now.
Yeah, I think so. Especially with big men, we're a little thin. We're a little thin up front, and it shows. Like, Boucher's been a nice surprise. It's been a great story. Baines has been terrible. They had Alex Len for 10 games.
Yeah,
just
I wasn't
trash.
expecting Baines, man, to be a stud. I thought he would definitely be a serviceable replacement. I didn't think he was the answer, but I didn't think it was this.
Well, he played the Raptors so well when he was in Boston. He was tough as nails. Like, I thought he was going to be that guy, that tough defender that boxed out, that rebounded, just did all the dirty work. And he's too focused trying to shoot threes, and he looks stupid doing it. This pod's called Nothing But Miss. He misses everything. Fucking garbage.
Apparently, our tough guy this year is our friggin' coach, man.
I love Nurse, man. Despite the losing, he can't knock Nurse.
50,000 fine, throwing a mask, profanity. He's kind of losing his mind. And you know what? I get it. It's frustrating. I hate referees. There is no bigger racket in professional sports than becoming a referee. Kids, don't become an athlete. Become a ref. Become part of a mobster union where you legit can't get fired if you're terrible at your job. People can't criticize you without either being fined or losing their job. Just become a ref. You're safe. It's a joke. But with that being said, it's still the Toronto Raptors, the NBA, man. You can't be doing this stuff. Like it sucks, and you're a young coach, but you're a championship caliber winning coach now. Like, you got to hold yourself to a higher esteem. Like, I love the videos of the guys throwing the sticks, the temper tantrums, what have you, but I don't necessarily want it to be my Raptors coach.
Yeah, but do you think Nurse gets that respect though? Even though he's won a title? Do you think I don't think he gets the respect.
Get the respect.
No.
I don't care if people say it's typical Toronto whining. Look at the blatant calls missed constantly in the game. The guy is looking at us, and it's like, oh, there goes Lowry and everybody complaining again. It's like, did you not see the elbow to the face? Did you not see whatever technical that was? It's so brutal, man. It's so frustrating as a Toronto fan.
They don't. Honestly, I don't think the NBA wanted Toronto to win a title in the first place. They look at it as a black eye, but too fucking bad. We won. We were just better. And anyone who says that title doesn't count because KD wasn't playing, well, you know what? Maybe he should have get better care of himself. That's a him problem. We won. Fuck you.
Yeah, we won because you know what happened was we had built the perfect championship team just with the missing piece, and that's what Kawhi was. Because when Kawhi came in, no matter what superstar, but we got one of the best. The way he was surrounded with this organization, yeah, you were going to win. Fuck the NBA. We took it.
We took it. Now deal with it.
Anything else you want to say about the did you see the purple and black jerseys?
Ooh, those are sexy. I might have to get one.
I'm still going to get the all black, but I'm not a fan of the triangle.
I'm not a fan of the triangle, but you know what? I have every Raptor jersey, so I feel like I need this one. Like, I'm gonna order a Lowry jersey in red because I don't have a red one. I'm gonna order one of those and I'll never wear it because it's pretty ugly, but it'll just be there.
Yeah. Well, I want the black Lowry from this season. I haven't had a Raptor jersey like I've told you in years, so I need a new one.
Are you gonna get the one with the Jordan symbol? Did you see that one?
No.
It's black and
it's not the gold one you're talking about.
No, this isn't gold. This is black and red. It's pure black and it's got red lettering and it's got Jordan symbol on as the patch instead of the Nike sign. Look it up. It's pretty lit, man.
Oh, we're on air, but I almost want to look it up. Okay, that's filthy. Yeah,
you might change your mind. You might. This one's pretty dirty.
I want us to either be black or I want us to be purple. I like the red. It's part Canada. I think it's a great third. Whatever. Do the red and white home away and the black third. That's fine with me. I still wish we had purple. Do a heritage one.
I'd flip it. I'd do heritage purple as a third jersey. I feel like when it was purple, it was more like Barney the dinosaur, and I wasn't a fan of it. I thought once they changed it to like red, like Canadian colors, it was more lit.
Oh, you like the change, eh?
I don't like this jersey per se, but I liked last year or 2 years ago when Kawhi was on the team. I liked when they were kind of messing around with
front.
Yeah. Like I liked when they were messing around with that. This one, it looked like a fucking 2-year-old created it. I don't know what they were smoking, but
I don't know if the NBA is the same as the NHL and all them, or if they use Fanatics, but it just seems like the newer jerseys are fucking terrible. The terrible fit, and they're all just like, you can tell they're like soccer kits now where they probably go to the teams and they're like, hey, here's the 10 templates for a jersey. Choose one and we'll make one for you. Here you go. Yeah, Raps use triangle.
I don't know why they went triangle. I think triangles are one of the like worst shapes in the fucking world. So I don't know, man.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm not gonna lament anymore on the jerseys. You got anything else about the Raps, or are we moving on to a little NBA general?
I think we should move on to a little NBA general.
Okay.
Let's go Raps.
Yeah, let's go Raps. Obviously, I'm just gonna say, by the way, before we end Raps, I want Lowry to stay. Even though the trade deadline's in 2 days, I think he's gone. But let's go and fight for that 8th spot. Screw it. Even if we lose in the first round, let's get that playoffs. I want something to cheer for. Them and the Leafs at the same time. Let's go.
I'm cool with that, man. I can live with that.
Okay. So the biggest news in the NBA. Oh God, LeBron injured. Dun dun dun. The king is down. King is down several weeks, high ankle sprain. What are the Lakers going to do? They're barren, man. They're lost. It's done.
They might have to make a move.
Wait, Anthony Davis. Oh, never mind.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Yeah. So
you know what's crazy? Depending on how long LeBron is out and AD, they might be fighting for a play-in spot because there are teams creeping up on them. As you know, the West is tight. Like, it's tight as a toiga. But yeah, they could, because of the slippage, like, you're going to have Schroeder and Kuzma, like, run your team for the next couple of weeks. It's a lot of games. Like, they were saying LeBron could be out for a month.
Yeah, I saw that. So wait, so do you think the Lakers are going to make a move?
I think they're almost forced to ponder making a move or have to make a move. It's desperation. Do you really want to finish 8th? I mean, yeah, they'd be a dangerous 8th seed, against a 1. Like, how crazy would that be? Imagine it was the Clippers-Lakers first round. Clippers in first. That would be nuts.
Okay, I'm looking at the record now, right? So Lakers 28-15. Dallas 8th place, 22-19. You're right, man. It's so close. That's brutal.
Tight, man.
That's going to happen too. Lakers are going to get in 7th, 8th spot. Mm-hmm. Then the boys are coming back. They're going to absolutely go on a run, and it's going to be LeBron back to back again, just in time for Space Jam 2.
You think they're better than Brooklyn?
If Kyrie doesn't have family matters, I don't know.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Well, but you know what? You're going to bring it up, and we'll go next. But with Blake Griffin apparently just stepping up to the Blake Griffin of past, and if Kyrie doesn't miss any more time, then Brooklyn, yeah, definitely scary. I just don't. I mean, it's like Tom Brady now, man. I'm not doubting LeBron at this point.
Yeah, I mean, he'll be back. The thing is, he'll be back this season. It's not like this is he's. It's not like it's LaMelo Ball who's out for the year, but he'll be back. AD will be back at some point, hopefully enough for them to get it together. But I think they do need to make a move. There's rumblings out there with them, trying to shake things up. It's going to be tough. It's the Wild Wild West. They call it that for a reason. I just wouldn't want to. If I was a first or second seed, I wouldn't want to play the Lakers in the first round.
Definitely.
No, I'd actually try and finish 4th or 5th if I'm in the West.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're going to face Portland or Dallas or whoever, it's going to be a struggle. Like, that's going to be every game is going to be sick. Like, we're going to have some great playoff basketball, Melk.
And that's what I'm looking forward to. I think, especially with this whole play-in too, I think it's going to be so competitive. You don't know what you're going to get. Like, if you're the first 2 seeds, you're scared because you don't know what you're getting in the first round. Whereas you're in the middle, you know already. But those first 2 seeds, you'd usually be comfortable. Like, yeah, I'm going to sweep the first. You'd get like an Orlando or something, and you'd sweep them, or they'd win 1 game and have their hopes up, and then you just ruin it. You crush it, like stealing a cake from a fat person. Like, it's just one of those things, right? And
yeah.
But yeah, it's a lot different, but exciting. I'm actually looking forward to playoff basketball this year. I think it's going to be lit.
Man, and I wanted to say a shout out to Luka. Did you see the 37 points he dropped? He's insane.
He's nuts.
I've always been okay with Dallas because of Steve Nash, right? Growing up, like, that was no problem. Mark Cuban's funny. Dirk is just a stud. So I'm going to choose so I'll go for Dallas if Toronto's out. But Luka just lighting it up. 37 points. I watched that game. That was crazy.
Is Luka the MVP?
Well, man, not if Jokic keeps playing the way he's playing.
What about James Harden? Could you consider Harden in the conversation, or because he ate his way out of Houston?
Yeah, he ate his way out. Yeah, I get it. Okay, whatever the purists or whoever want to say that, just looking at the numbers in an MVP season, he doesn't deserve an MVP trophy for acting the way he does. You're not supposed to reward that. I don't give a shit about the numbers, because there are guys close enough this year that have had amazing years that can deserve the trophy and don't have this black stain on it. It's brutal. He basically, like, I legit feel bad for Houston right now and their coach Silas, who almost broke down in a press conference the other night. Like, what he did to that team, fuck you, man. You do not deserve the MVP.
And
You're gonna get
Silas
maybe a championship out of it, so whatever. That's enough.
and Silas waited 20 years to get a head coaching
Feel
spot.
so bad for that dude.
Man did everything by the book, and you spat on him. You disrespected him. His dad was a household name as a coach in the NBA. Lack of respect. It just disrespectful, man.
Yeah, that happened. Then all the injuries, and then Houston, like that guy. The one positive aspect, it seems, is that all the other coaches, Doc, whoever, are rallying Kerr. They're rallying around him. So he seems to be getting the support. I hope Houston, doesn't give up on him, because this is obviously a wash year for Houston at this point. But man, you have a great coach. I mean, we have Nurse, so we don't need a new coach, but I would love that guy on our team. So
you can't blame Silas at all.
No.
You can't. They lost their GM Maury. Harden, like we both said.
Can't say why.
Yeah. We won't go there right now. James Harden, what he did, basically holding the franchise hostage, demanding to get out. I need to get out.
Did he wear a fat suit? Like, come on.
Nah, I think he was really fat. I've seen him without a shirt.
He went Nutty Professor. He drank something, and then at night he'd go back to smaller Harden.
I wouldn't hold it past him, man. Like, you can't trust a man with a beard that big.
Yeah, whatever. Go to a Brooklyn super team. This is why I don't care. This is why I just had that argument about MJ versus LeBron, and MJ was on a super team. They pretty much drafted that super team, okay? Except for Rodman, who came in a couple years later. Most of the guys were drafted. That's the difference. I'm not going to get into that right now.
All homegrown, and they scouted well. That's said.
Okay, so you've already said his name, but LaMelo Ball is another massive injury that's happened, and he's out for the season with a wrist injury. Oof.
He is a spectacular player, and I said when he was drafted number 3 that Minnesota is going to regret it. Like. And I can't remember the rookie they draft. He's a good player too, Anthony Edwards. I think that's his name. He's a great player, but Melo is box office, man. This brother can ball, and I hate their dad. He's a fucking loudmouth content who just wants attention on himself. Did you hear what he said about Michael Jordan?
Just recently? No.
Yeah, that he's like expired milk. Nobody wants to. Nobody's gonna reach for him in the refrigerator. It was something along those lines, because he wants his boys to play together in either Charlotte or wherever. And they were talking about Michael giving some guidance and helping out LaMelo, and he doesn't need it. He's like expired milk. Like, the disrespect.
You do not say that about MJ, yeah.
But going back to LaMelo, he was on another planet. Would have won Rookie of the Year. He's probably not going to now.
That's the worst part about this.
And he had his team in the 8th spot. Him, and he was I think he was like figuring things out, which is sad.
Definitely was, and it seemed like the whole family had calmed down. Even his brother was finding somewhat consistency. Like, it was kind of quiet, and then he was just skyrocketing. And of course, it's like good fortune happened to this family right now, more so, and this injury hits, and it sucks. Definitely having a Rookie of the Year. And he is a baller, man. He's kept quiet. He's the one. I've never had an issue with him.
No, he's never said
anything. I do. Why would I?
Right. Yeah, he's quiet. He does all the talking on the court. His dad does all. Actually, his dad does all the talking for all of them. Even Lonzo's quiet too. Lonzo doesn't say anything.
Oh, you can tell. They love their dad, so they go along with it. But that's the loudmouth dad.
Well, I just feel sorry for like when the dad opens his mouth and he might name drop someone on their team and they have to explain to them in the locker room. He's like, okay, my dad's a fucking moron. This isn't coming from me. So
he's probably telling his teammates constantly, oh man, he's just a fucking idiot. Don't even listen to him. I don't even listen to him.
Just ignore him. But actually speaking, so let's stick with the Baller brothers, the Ball brothers. So LaMelo's out, but Lonzo is in trade discussions right now. he's having a nice season. He's
Yeah.
quietly having a nice season. He's shooting the ball better. I mean, this guy's got great court vision. So I'm here to ask you, why is he available when you would think him, Ingram, and Zion would be a great three-headed monster?
It's really difficult, and you're right. And it's like I was saying before, he found that kind of consistency this year, and he was quiet, and it's been better. Is it maybe it's a coaching thing? I don't know. Does he not fit in the plan? Like I was thinking about that too. It's really difficult to say. Obviously Zion is the centerpiece,
Yeah.
and whatever they're going to build around, but or maybe they never. Like I don't know. Maybe Ball is kind of outside of what they view as the future. Like he's a bit of an expendable piece on their front, and he's playing so well and consistent now, and his brother's kind of heightened the name a bit that maybe it's like peak trade value, so they're just feeling it out there. It's like if they're going to get a stud or something, why not? So I'm thinking it's almost a feeler, but you're right. What he's playing now, I mean, you want that on your team if you're going for a playoff run.
Well, you think, well, they don't play defense at all, so that's their first problem. They're atrocious on defense. But you think like Lob City. Think about like the old Clippers when they had CP3 and when Blake actually dunked the ball.
Yeah.
Hey, he actually dunked.
Shout out
yesterday.
Yeah.
First time in 2 years. Good job, Blake.
Good
Way to earn those 2 points.
Brooklyn needed it.
Yeah. You have no idea. But yeah, you would think they'd want that excitement, almost like a showtime. But I think Van Gundy's allowing Zion to ball handle as well. So it almost makes him expendable, like you were saying. But that'd be a shame. I think he looks great in the Nolia. I think that would be a solid three-headed monster.
Yeah, don't want to say the COVID season has an effect in like the salary situation and what's going to be going on in the future with the NBA. But and where do you see him going? Like
there's rumors of Clippers.
Yeah, well, of course, Clippers are rumors for anybody with a name at this point.
Yeah, well, they need a point guard desperately. That's the one thing they're missing.
You're not getting Lowry. I don't give a shit. I want that to be an utter failure the whole time.
That they would have to make the money work because Lonzo money compared to Lowry's money is two different beasts. So they'd have to make that work, and I'm sure they could. But yeah, I hear the Clippers. I heard the Bulls. Actually, he's been rumored to like almost everyone. The Raptors at one point.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. I think this year's trade deadline is going to be interesting. We'll see.
Yeah, we're 2 days away. We've already had two somewhat big trades. Going to his 10th or 11th team, Trevor Ariza is heading for Myers Leonard.
Oh, boy.
Yes, Mr. Controversy himself.
Mr. Dumbass.
Yeah, real dumbass. So e-gamer, he's playing COD or whatever on the headset, makes an anti-Semitic remark. Real dumbass remark. Like a remark that nobody uses nowadays in any form in real life. So it's not an excuse when I say it's out of ignorance, but it has to be out of complete ignorance to say that word. Because you learned it in what? A movie, or someone older who said it once. Like it's a derogatory term, but I mean, come on, that it hasn't been used in so long. Like, what do you really know about it?
Not only that, and you nailed it. You just alluded to it right there. It's so derogatory. Nobody uses that word. So you have to dig really deep to just find that word. It's a hate word. And not only that, I don't even think that's the first time he's used that. Because if you're using that word, you know what it means.
Yeah, it was so casual to gaming. And we've got gaming buddies. We won't name names. But
Gooby.
Yeah. And he's never said anything that bad. We're not alluding to that. We're just saying he swears. He's never been that. But his swearing alone, and even guys who aren't that bad, what they will say in the heat of the moment, that wasn't even a heat of the moment situation where he's screaming at a guy who's screaming back at him. That was just pissed off at one guy, and it came out casually as like an insult to that guy. So,
well, he paused too.
Oh, he knew. You knew right away.
He paused, and then he kept going on with his business. Do you not know you're being recorded? You're sponsored by different game or streaming companies.
Dumbass, don't stream.
Yeah, you don't want to make money, keep your mouth shut.
Yeah, I honestly think most professional, well, not most professional, I think some professional athletes are probably bigger dicks than we think, and it's all PR. But, I'm not going to tell them what to do when nobody's listening, whatever. But, man, you're being streamed. You use that word. Nobody, who else, what a controversy without, like, come on.
No, like I said, it's a hate word. It's a hate word, and we all call each other the A word. We say fuck. We call each other sometimes the B word out of joking. You and I rip on each other all the time, especially when we talk football. But never have you dropped an N-bomb or I've dropped any controversial word like that. We don't do that because we have a lot more respect for people and each other, and we don't have that type of hate.
It's common sense, man. Like, do these people not have, I guess, don't have a filter? Like, do you not see the words before you say it? Like, just don't do that shit. You got to read the room.
Not only that, it's just that word specifically, if you're using that word, it's for a reason. There's a purpose. And his apology was so bogus, I didn't know what it meant. Okay, if you don't know what a word is, why are you using that term? I don't use words I don't know the meaning of.
I think that's a bigger issue with society in general right now, that we're not going to touch on a basketball pod, that the meaning of words has been lost. But just stupid. So he's been traded, gone to Oklahoma. He was suspended a week or a couple of weeks. I thought it was just a week.
Well, he's injured right now.
He's injured out for the season.
Yeah, he's out for the season. But yeah, he's been suspended for a couple of weeks. So if he ever plays again, which I don't think any team really is going to touch him. Maybe a team touches him, but I don't know. He's not that good of a player for me to want to sign up and give him another chance. But I'm not an NBA GM, so.
Yeah, you know what? I'm always that guy. If someone shows true remorse, and I don't mean remorse for getting caught, I mean remorse for his actions. You know what? Like, you can say what you want as the general public, but the dude maybe does need therapy. And it's not like saying he's mental or anything like that. Go talk to someone and just figure out why you fucking said that word. Okay? And learn not to say it. Learn just to be a bit better. Like, I don't know, man. I'm not going to tell him not to be an NBA, or if he goes off in the sunset, he's made enough money, fine. You're dumbass. Like, you're the one who agreed to stream in the first place. That's what I don't get. Everybody's doing this shit recorded. Do you not realize what the word recorded means? It's there forever. Like, is he going to live this down? Well, I mean, public opinion changes so quickly, so probably.
Well, he doesn't look like the sharpest knife in the drawer, so maybe he just laughed at like, oh, I was being funny. But you weren't at all. Not even a shred. It wasn't funny at all.
No. Okay.
But speaking of what's funny, and I want you to drive this home.
Oh, boy.
We were talking about Space Jam earlier.
Welcome.
Pepe Le Pew benched from Space Jam, the new one with LeBron. What's it called? New Legacy? Space Jam New Legacy or whatever. Dumbass time. Yeah.
Two Space, two Jam.
Actually, that'd be a better title.
Yeah.
So the iconic horny skunk from Looney Tunes had a scene in the movie, and it was actually taken down because of complaints of his persistent gesture on one of the main characters. But are we that soft as a society for a fucking cartoon to dictate and be taken away off a movie? Like, I want you to drive this home, man.
Yeah. So, if you get upset at anything animated or any character that's not real, and I hate to break it to some people, but like Batman's not real, Ninja Turtles aren't real. Like, there's a lot of shit, and I enjoy all that stuff. It's not real, okay?
You mean they're not?
Yeah, it's just an idea. Secondly, and this is the biggest fucking point for me, okay? All of this is just what you consume. You do not have to watch this stuff. Do you know what happens when something comes on that I don't like say a Knicks game or a Montreal Canadiens game? I don't watch it. I don't sit there making notes about why I hate it and then go onto a message board hoping that somebody agrees with me. It's ridiculous. And also, Pepe Le Pew, yeah, obviously he's a sexist, chauvinist. That's the whole point of the character. I'm not justifying that, but he never wins. Has there ever been an episode where he's done that and at the end the girl turned around and was like, "Oh, actually, I am into it. Good job, Pepe."
No,
Never.
they always run away. That's the whole premise of the character. He never gets the girl.
He never wins. He never wins. Like, I mean, if that upsets you, then I don't know what to tell you. Maybe don't go see Space Jam 2. Because what does everybody want? Just like vanilla movies, TV shows, sports with no contact, no swearing, no emotion. Because I hate to break it to people, that's not what humanity's like.
Not at all.
That's the reason we love sports. I love that emotional high. Okay. I'm an amateur athlete at best. Okay. Participation medals. I get goosebumps watching the Leafs, the Raptors, any of my teams win. I feel a part of that team. That's why we all use the word we. Why do you not want people like I don't know, it's just frustrating. And that's a very frustrating topic.
Well, it is because it's a fucking cartoon skunk. Yeah. Like the scene was cut faster than Anthony Bennett's NBA career. Like that. And Anthony Bennett, he sucks donkey balls. So it's an iconic character.
Man, the one thing we were joking about in the chat too, making fun of a certain someone, was that people were bitching that they took Lola Bunny or like made her less sexy and now made her empowerment. So you're pissed about this Pepe Le Pew guy, but also we're pissed off that there's not just this rocket bunny with a giant rack. Like, oh, what a shame. Space Jam is going to be horrible.
Oh God, that's going to dictate how great the movie is, with Lola Bunny having big boobs and Pepe Le Pew not being in the movie.
Oh boy,
good job, folks.
Yeah. Has anybody ever watched a Disney or a Pixar movie? Like, how many adult jokes are in there? All the good ones. Like, that's the whole point of it. Everything goes over kids' heads. Okay, a kid only knows that it's a bad word if the word is said and they look at you and you're like, "Oh shit!" And the kid's like, "Okay, that's funny as hell." Like, that gets a rise out of people.
It's called subliminal messaging.
Oh man,
like
great for a basketball pod. They're getting me all heated up about.
Grinds my gears now.
Okay, so going back to basketball, and also before we moved away on trades too, Aaron Gordon formally requesting a trade from Orlando Magic, the 25-year-old. He wants out, and he does not want to go to a rebuilder. He has said he wants a chance at massive marketing opportunities, and he wants to go to a championship. So, Melky, where does Aaron Gordon land?
That's a great question. Aaron Gordon, he's a complicated player.
Yeah.
Because he's got hops. He was great in the slam dunk contest.
Oh, yeah.
He's learned how to shoot a jump shot and the three ball a little bit. But he's not the guy. So he would be a piece, right? He'd be maybe a second fiddle, third fiddle if a team could take him. You know what? I see him. I'm thinking Denver. And I've been on Denver for a bit.
Yeah.
I think Denver, and I put Denver and I put Portland in the same bubble, because they have great pieces, like for Denver, Jokic, the Joker, and what's the Canadian kid's name?
Yeah, Jamal.
Yeah. Sorry, Jamal. Jamal Murray. They're untouchables. Great 1-2 tandem. But everyone else is just a piece. And if you were to add Gordon to that mix, it could make them interesting, because it would give them something they don't have. They're not an athletic team. They're either jump shooters or, they do the pick and roll. Like Jamal Murray and Jokic, they probably do the pick and roll better than anyone in the league. But if you were to get Aaron Gordon, that would be a different dynamic. I don't know if it would work, but it's just something to think about. And then Portland, how many years is Dame going to carry the team on his back with no help? CJ was hurt. Nurkic is always hurt. Gifted players, but they're never around.
Aldridge is old and out the door right now. He's going to be probably bought out.
Aldridge plays for San Antonio.
Oh, fuck. Yeah.
But when they were together, that was one hell of a
Oh,
tandem.
brain fart because I saw that news come up.
Yeah, you know what? If Portland was looking for another player, I would take a flyer on Aldridge, have a return. Yeah, I would. I think Aldridge can still help you. He can give you 10 and 10.
I like your Denver idea though, because Jokic, like I said before, is having an MVP season. Jamal Murray is such a stud. That's just an arms race in the West. If
Easily. But think about it. Like Porter Jr. is a great player, but you don't know what he's gonna be, and he's always gonna be in the shadow of Jokic and Jamal Murray. Gordon has shown he's not the guy. So if you bring him over, he's going to know his role. He's going to be the third option, and that's not too bad on a Denver team that is young. Like you said he's 25, right, Gordon?
He's 25, yeah.
They're all around the same age. Like, think about it. That's a nice little three-headed monster right in Denver. Like, I would be afraid of that team. I think that or Portland. I think those are the two teams that should actually look into it. Where do you think?
Well, I'm just happy that I'm not hearing the words Boston, or York, or any of those teams come out of your mouth. Like, send it west. I am totally down for that. 100%.
I think he needs to go somewhere where they'd forget his name. I just think if he went to what is he going to do for New York? If I'm New York, I would, unless you're getting a premier all-star bona fide superstar. If I'm the Knicks, I'm not doing anything right now. Thibodeau is a defensive wizard in that he's got them actually playing like men.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything unless it's a superstar. And Boston, boy, are you gonna give up Kemba Walker? Kemba Walker's a shell of himself. They're gonna want a lot more. Are you gonna part with Jaylen Brown for Gordon? Fuck no. I'd rather have Jaylen Brown. So I don't know. I think somewhere west. I like Denver.
I'm agreeing with Denver with you. Stud.
Just makes it interesting. Like, think about it. He doesn't have to. He'll be asked to be athletic, rebound, and contribute as a third option.
Yeah, and right now, so Denver, say 25-17, fifth place. They'd potentially be playing the Clippers. They're looking around at Portland, Spurs. I mean, you bring him onto the team, that's solid. I could see Denver moving up. And with the Laker troubles like we were talking about earlier, I mean, if he did go to Denver, they have a solid chance at going for a second or third.
Yeah, buddy. Like, they went to the Western Conference Finals last year.
Yeah.
And they were, LeBron and AD were just too much, obviously. But you throw in Gordon there.
Denver versus Dallas as a potential. I'm just looking at some.
Yeah.
Here. There could be some crazy or imagine they end up Tate. Aaron goes to Denver, Lakers. That's it. 2 versus 7.
It could happen, man. Could be that's why I'm saying you don't. I might necessarily not want to finish 1 or 2 this season, just because the Lakers are going to dip.
Yeah.
They might be 6, 7, 8, and you're the top 2, 3, even top 3 seeds. I'd be worried. I'd be like, fuck, like LeBron, AD, they're coming back. They're going to prove that, they're the champs for a reason. Yeah, I'd be worried. But Jamal having Aaron Gordon in Denver, I think that would help them separate. Or even you mentioned Dallas. He would look nice in Dallas. They're shopping Porzingis. Apparently, that's not working out anymore.
Well, never really worked out. I mean, on the injury front, it sucks. I saw the vision Mark had for that, but yeah, just unfortunate it didn't work out. So that could be too. That just how they move on from Kristaps and whatever. Yeah. All right. So any other trade news going on before trade deadline?
Not we covered the big major ones. There probably will be more in the next couple of days, obviously, as the deadline is coming.
Yeah.
But yeah, look. I think a couple of big names are going to be on the move.
Okay, so just a couple of quick notes as well. So obviously, Blake Griffin, we've talked about it, but he went to Brooklyn as well. So that's a piece there. I can't stand Brooklyn. I don't even watch their games. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I'll watch some highlights when I'm watching TSN and I'm getting my whole basketball fix for the day and I'm doing the fantasy and whatever.
Yeah.
But I won't watch a Brooklyn game if Toronto's not playing them. I don't give a shit. Maybe if it's someone massive, but I can't, dude.
I won't watch if unless Katie's playing.
Yeah. He's the only one that I like. And I know the whole Twitter burner thing. That just made him more like to me. That made him more. That was funny. It's like this guy is you obviously so intelligent, and he's just getting so heated at trolls online, and he's just got to like pump his own tires.
I think that just made him one of my favorite players. That just solidified it right there. He'd go through all the trouble to have burner accounts just to troll.
Oh yeah. Oh, if I was his teammate, I'd be doing so many pranks on that guy if I found out. Speaking of Brooklyn, like we said too, Kyrie Irving, he's out 3 days. Family matters. They're not going to stress more. It's just another little. I mean, I hope everything's all right. I don't wish any bad on anyone's family, but I mean, it's just another thing about Kyrie this year. If LeBron's healthy, I think the Lakers take it, but obviously they're probably going to meet Brooklyn in the finals.
Yeah, we both called that in the first episode that'll be your finals. I still think it's the Lakers to lose. They just have to get healthy. Maybe make a tweak too. Yeah. They need it. They need a couple of interior big men, like maybe JaVale McGee, reunite with JaVale.
The hair himself, JaVale.
Yeah, he's no longer on Shaq and the Fool, so he's respected now. He's got a ring. Maybe Dwight Howard. I don't think it's worked really well with Dwight in Philly. Maybe they called Philly and say, we want Dwight back.
Yeah, as long as they don't get Lowry.
What, Philly?
Philly.
Just because he said that he's going to Philly.
I'm actually agreeing with you now about Miami. We talked about it before the episode, but yeah, you called it months ago. That was a really good destination if he did go, and I just think with their rookies. Anyways, some crazy news, and we talked about Dallas beforehand, but Sean Bradley, former Maverick star, he's paralyzed, riding his bike, hit by a car. Unreal. I feel so bad. What a horrific news. When I saw the news pop up on the score thing, I'm like, did that actually just say what I think it said?
I was shocked. I had to reread it too. I actually had to go, normally I just read the little updates when they pop up on my phone. I actually had to go into it to make sure I read.
Oh, I went on Instagram, read it.
Yeah. It's crazy. He was in the first Space Jam. And 7'6" tall. I just want to know how you miss a big man on a bicycle like that.
Yeah, 7'9" or whatever on a bike. He's probably 9 foot.
At least.
I can't go further if it's DUI or whatever the incident. I just complete shock. I mean, I hope the best for him and whatever medicine and technology can provide, and I hope the best for his family. Just shocking news and something you don't expect in the sports world with somebody because it's so rare, so fucked up.
Well, I just remember him playing in Dallas. He played on some other teams too, but just watching this oversized giant rebound move. He was always super thin, so he kind of looked like the crypt keeper, like his body wise, but he was still like a formidable player. He is off in the sunset, and then just to hear this tragic news, I hope the best for him and his family. Hopefully, medical science. I know it's progressed so much, so hopefully they can do something for him because it just sucks.
Yeah, truthfully, I didn't know him before Space Jam. And then I saw him on Space, and then the whole crew on Space Jam. After that, when you see games as a kid and you follow him, you're like, okay, I know that guy. And I started following Sean and the rest of the Monstars then. But yeah, just brutal. I'm wishing him the best from the both of us. So Sean, stay in there, buddy.
Yeah, hopefully all the best, buddy.
Yeah. Okay, so we always love to end these episodes, especially just this first season, as a tribute. Kobe. We've done it the first 2 episodes. And Melky, do you want to go first? Do you want me to go first, buddy?
Yeah, no, I'll take it away. As you know, we lost Kobe last year, and one of the, I'd say, top 5 easily NBA players of all time. My memory this episode is Kobe hits free throws after tearing his Achilles. It just shows you how tough this man is, or was, that Mamba mentality. It was April 2013 against G-State. He fell to the ground and grabbed the back of his left ankle. Couldn't put weight on his leg. Still, he stayed in the game, and made the 2 free throws to tie the game, actually. Just the definition of toughness. If I'm ever coaching a group of kids for basketball, I want them to emulate. I'll show them everything Kobe did. I want them to emulate Kobe to a T. Like, this man would still play if he had no arms and legs. That's how tough he is.
All heart, Mamba mentality. We've talked about it before. Great. That's hilarious that I asked you before the episode. I'm like, did you already do that one? You're like, yeah. So you had it loaded for this one. Great.
Yeah.
After Sean Bradley and all that, I wanted to end on a positive note and with Kobe. So we're going to be talking about him passing MJ the GOAT. So I'm going to read this right now. December 14th, 2014, with 26 points in a 100-94 win over Minnesota, Kobe surpassed Michael Jordan on the NBA's all-time scoring list. His 33,643 points are fourth behind Kareem, Karl, and LeBron. Absolutely unreal.
Yeah, stud.
At the age he was playing at too, it was at that point where it was veteran Kobe and everybody was just rooting for him. Everybody.
How could you not? How could you not?
Not that nobody ever, cheered against him, but it was the world tour of Kobe was starting. It was, everybody was waiting for all the milestones to be hit, like it's hit with the superstars.
Couldn't happen to a better baller. He's the definition of basketball. Like when I think of like a Mount Rushmore, he's definitely on my Mount Rushmore.
I think so. We talked about it before. I'm sure they're gonna honor trophy, name weekends, whatever they're gonna do. He's definitely on the Rushmore.
Absolutely, and should be.
Buddy, excellent episode.
Oh, it's been a hot minute, glad we were able to get together and throw up some air balls and some bricks. I missed it, man. Like it just hasn't been the same doing it solo. So I'm glad we can get on this. Do you want to give a shout out, or what are you up to these days? I know you're Mr. Popular right now.
Yeah,
what are you up to?
Yeah, getting a little busy with the schedule, but loving this. Nothing but miss. The Leafs podcast. I love doing that with Anthony, and the Leafs are rolling, which is a bit better to watch than our Raps. Hoping they turn it around.
A lot better, not a little bit.
Yeah. We've got a mustard coming up soon with movie reviews and the usual, and that's going to be a blast. I'm always looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, and I think you also have something coming up.
Yeah, I look out for the latest episode of Nobody Gives a Fuck. Brotherly Love. I have my brother on as a guest, and we talk about the one thing we ever bonded over, the TV show South Park. Stay tuned.
And that's how brotherly bonds are formed. Thank you, Cal.
Oh shit! Well played. Yeah, Bob, this has been a blast. Let's not make it too long next time. I mean, again, that was my fault. And Bill Gates, you know where you can fucking go, you four-eyed bastard. But
yeah. Shout out to any laptop companies listening. Woo.
Yeah. You know where you can go.
Yeah. All right, guys. I'm Ba. That's Melky. We always say to go Toronto Raptors, go. Let's finally get some win, boys. Come on. Peace.
Well, right now we're down 3, so come on, boys.
Oh, let's go Raps. All right, peace, everyone.